Hello and welcome to the Virtual Study Abroad Fair. This evening we have Jason Koba from API with us, and API is one of our study abroad providers that offers a plethora of options for you to study abroad. So with that, I will hand it over to Jason. Jason, thank you for being with us this evening. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much, Andrea. I'm glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be able to have the chance to speak with UW-Stout students this evening. As Andrea mentioned, I work for API, Academic Programs International. We are an international education organization based in Austin, Texas, although I'm actually from Wisconsin, so just down the road. I grew up in La Crosse, so not too far away from Menominee. So I've been with API for 5 years now, over 5 years now, and I'm just going to talk about the different options for programming that we have, kind of go through some of our programs and services that we do on site, and throw in some virtual talk about that as well, just to kind of get you thinking about some different options. We certainly hope that mobility is resumed very, very soon to what we would call a normal bit of exchange, but we'll see that there might be some options there. And we also know that there's virtual programming that is going to exist forever now, because we've got some really cool opportunities. So I do want to just kind of touch on a little bit of those. So just really quick, just wanted to share a couple of quotes with you from students that studied abroad with us in the past, talking about what they did on their study abroad experience or why it was such an important part of their life. You'll note that a couple of these are actually from 2020. So we do have some students that, despite having to return early from their spring programs, they did still have a really, really remarkable experience. But common themes about learning about language, learning about themselves, really, really, really great personal development, as well as academic bonuses as part of their study abroad experiences. So API is an organization that's been around for almost 25 years now. And the 4 women you see here are our founding mothers, and that's who started our company. And I say that because the API family is really got a strong familial attachment to it, and we want you to feel like part of our family. So safety is our #1 priority in all of the different programs that we do and all the decisions that we make. And so the programs that we choose are meant to be very culturally and academically enriching, but also we want to make sure that we're doing so in a safe location. So these are just a broad overview of the different sites that we have. So we've got traditional study abroad experiences, so short term, as short as a couple of weeks in some cases, all the way up to an entire academic year. But this would be your traditional on-site study abroad experiences. We do also offer internships too. So we have on-site internships, and then we also offer virtual programs. So I'll talk a little bit about each of these, but I just wanted to give you a broad overview. So our academic programs, our on-site study abroad programs, are offered in more than 20 countries. And as I mentioned, they range in length from an academic year and 2 semesters to a short time, even a couple of weeks in nature. We have resident directors in each of our different locations who are there to help you throughout the process and really make the most of the experience and make it really exceptional. They're there to help support you in emergency situations. If you have cultural questions, if you have problems or questions about your academics, pretty much anything. They're your big brother, big sister, uncle, or whoever you want them to be at the time that you're there. So they're there to really help you the most. All of our programs are offered at accredited institutional partners. So you're going to be taking classes with students from a lot of different areas. Other international students, local students in some cases, other students on programs like API. So the classes are not just for API students. So you're going to always have other people in your classes with you. We do offer programs that have an internship component as well as a study program. So if you're not really sure what you want to do, you can actually do both. I'll talk a little bit about the API Gives Back initiative, and then the on-site component to virtual. I'll mention that as well in another slide. So what do you expect from API? Why would you go with an organization like API? So the biggest thing we want to talk about is that we provide service and support for you throughout the entire process. So from the pre-departure side of it, helping you figure out which program is going to be the best fit for you, giving you information about the different courses that are available to you so you know how you're going to get your credits to transfer back. Financial aid advising, visa processing, all those types of things are services that we'll help you with so that the pre-departure side of it goes really, really smoothly for you. I mentioned our on-site staff. Those are obviously one of the best parts of an API program and the best part about being on-site. We do offer those in a virtual format as well. We call them global guides in that sense because they're still going to be involved with you if you choose to do one of our virtual programs. You still have access to API's amazing international staff. Airport and train reception, our virtual orientation is partly, it will take place virtually whether you go on-site or in a virtual format. And then if you go on-site, you also have an on-site orientation. So we're going to make sure we prepare you as best we can to know what the ins and outs of your program are going to be, what are the best places to go for coffee, where do you want to avoid at night, those types of things, safety, security, making sure that you're acclimated and ready to make the most of your experience there. Tuition is included in all of our program fees, medical and life insurance, again, for on-site experiences, trips and excursions, which I'll talk about in a moment, social and cultural activities, again, I'll talk about that, and then volunteer and opportunities in housing. So all of these are inclusive, and an API program, when you see a program fee, it's basically inclusive of everything, including your meals in some cases. So basically all you have to do is buy a plane ticket and some spending money, and you're good to go. So excursions are one of the really big highlights of an on-site program, and we recognize that a lot of learning happens not just in the location that you are and not just inside the classroom, but in the surrounding area. So we're going to put in some really unique opportunities for you to explore outside of the classroom and to be able to learn about the culture and learn about the history of the location that you're in. So these are all included with your program fee, so there's no additional cost. So due to COVID, we've had to modify them a little bit in that we don't do overnight excursions for the time being. So all of these will be day trips, so you'll just leave and come back from wherever your host city is. But we've been able to add more of them as a result of that. So there's a few more day trips that you get to do instead of a couple of longer trips. But just an example of some trips that our Rome, Italy students get to do, go to Pompeii, Umbria, Assisi, and Siena, and see the different surrounding communities in the area there. And again, it's all included in their program fees, so any entrance fees or transportation costs, it's all taken care of for you. One of my favorite aspects of the API program are the cultural events and activities that take place. And these are also included at no additional cost. So you see the picture on the right of the pasta making workshop. These are some of our students in Italy who are actually learning how to make pasta. And that's a great example of something. They talk about why pasta is important, what's the history of pasta, why does it matter, and why is it just not amazing food, but what is the benefit of it, and what does it do for the community? So there's a lot of different things that take place in cultural activities to help you get to know your host community and your host culture a little bit better. These are done, again, in a virtual space as well through our API Connect platform, where you have access to recorded videos. So while you might get to go on site and do it in person, if you're on a virtual format, one of our resident directors might be teaching you how to make pasta in a live or a recorded video. So you can still participate in the same kind of an activity, just in a slightly different format. These are, again, all included with your program fee, so there's no additional cost or anything like that. And again, it's a great way to learn more about the host culture and for you to truly engage with the community that you're studying in. Housing, again, is included in all of our on-site programs, and the type of housing that will be offered varies by location. The most important aspect about all of our housing is that it's in a safe location. So no matter what type of housing it is, safety is our #1 priority. Depending on the location, you'll have the option of living with a host family, in a residence hall, or a dormitory style living, or in an independent apartment. Each of our program sites will explain what the housing options are and also include photographs of some of that. Sometimes the dorms have you live with local students. Other times you're living with just international students. Usually your meals are included, all of your meals are included with host families, and some of your meals are included in a residence hall, but it does vary, again, from location to location. So we can, on each program site, you can see the specific details that are there. Apartments are available if you're looking for more of an independent kind of living space. So there's no meals included with apartments, but you have access to a kitchen and typically live with 4 to 8 other API students. Again, during the time of COVID, we've reduced the amount of students living together in one location to try to reduce capacity as much as possible. So rather than 4 to 8, it might be 2 or 3 students that you're living with to try to give everyone as much space as possible. But all of these are really, really great locations, and you have a really cool option to see them. So here's a couple of pictures. Our host families, obviously on the far right there, that's an example of one of our host families, which could be you and a family of 4, or it could be you with just another single mom or something like that. So it really varies. Apartments and then dorms. And most of the housing is much better than any of the housing that I had when I was in college, that's for sure. So it's a really, really nice and comfortable place to spend your time. The API Gives Back program is one of my favorites, and this is one of our volunteer opportunities. Every one of our semester-long programs organizes a single day of service to help students say thank you to the local community by doing a project of service, usually involving locals as well. So it's a way for you to partner with the community to say, thank you again for letting me be a part of your community for my study abroad experience. So examples of things would be environmental sustainability projects in different locations, like beach beautification, working with an orphanage and painting and doing some work there, So there's a lot of different aspects in different parts of this, but I really like this. Students that are interested in volunteering over the course of their program, our resident directors can help set up volunteer experiences for you as well. So if volunteering is something that's important to you, it's important to us as well, and we can make that happen for you. So our API scholarship program, we do give away quite a bit of money in scholarships every year. The awards range from anywhere from $250 to $1,000 a student, depending on the time of your program, the length of your program, where you're going, who you are, where you come from. There's a lot of different aspects and different things for criteria that we use for scholarships, and a lot of different scholarship programs to apply for. But there's information on our website about the different scholarships that you can select from. Once you're accepted into an API program, you can apply, but you can see all the information ahead of time to get your materials ready and see what kinds of questions they're going to ask and whatnot. The programs are also important because if you are thinking that you want to study abroad and maybe virtually is something you've thought about, any of our students who do participate in a virtual program get an automatic scholarship and a really big scholarship for a future in-person program. So if you decide that virtual programs is something you're interested in, but you know you want to go abroad again, this can be a really great way to get some really significant funding to pay for your in-person study abroad experience. $500 for a summer program or $3,000 for an in-person study abroad program. So I want to talk about internships really quick. Internships are a great opportunity for you to get some really cool work experience and some career readiness, professional development, and expanding on your professional network. We offer internships in a number of different locations, so I'll have another slide that explains that a little bit. But internships in an international setting are unique in that they're all individually placed for the student based on your personal and academic needs. So we don't have a list of internships that you pick one and apply for, but rather we talk with you about what it is that you want to do on your internship experience, and then we actually go out and find that internship for you. So it's a little bit of a different process in that you're not competing necessarily with all these different people for the one internship, but rather we're working with you to find the best possible placement that we can. The internships take place over the summer, and for the most part, there are some semesters, but most of our students go over the summer. And you have access to a lot of different materials to help you get acclimated and prepared for your internship, both before you go and while you're abroad as well. Our workplace and culture orientation is designed to help you understand the specific nuances of working in a culture as opposed to being a student or a tourist or just, being there to experience it for a short period of time. The internships are full-time, so they are approximately 35 to 40 hours a week. So you are there on an independent work experience in that sense. But it's a really, really great way to do something really unique and different and really set you apart in the global marketplace and work on some really important skills. One of the cool things about our internships is that they come with a digital badge included with them. And the digital badge is a way for you to highlight the skills you learned on your internship to future employers by putting it on your LinkedIn profile or an e-portfolio. And it gives you an opportunity to showcase and say more than, oh, it was a really cool experience. But you can say, these are the skills that I worked on, and here are the actual things that I did. And here's the data to prove that I did that by earning these different badges. So we do have a couple of programs you can choose to go for a semester and do a 5-week intensive course. So you take 2 different courses for 5 weeks, and then you do an intensive internship for 7 weeks. So it's a 12-credit program to give you a full load of credits for the semester, and that's available in Dublin and Barcelona. The internships, again, are very much individually sourced. And so the idea is that students want to go for a semester and still earn 12 credits to be able to stay a full-time student while they're there. The internship programs are offered in the semester as either 8, 10, or 12 weeks in length. But again, our summer programs are definitely the most popular options for our students. We have 3 different sessions that are 8 weeks each. It depends on what works best with student schedules in that sense. The summer sessions, we do have the option of earning 6 credits for an additional fee through API School of Record, but that's a question you definitely want to chat with Andrea about to learn about what kind of credit would be applicable if you were earning credit from Stout as well. Now, transitioning a little bit to our virtual programs, internships we do offer in a virtual format for either a full-time internship or a part-time internship during the semester. So if that's something that you wanted to tag on to a semester of coursework that you're doing already, it's a great opportunity for you to do a virtual placement, get some really exciting work experience in a virtual space, which we're all working virtually now, so it's a really great opportunity to really learn some of those important skills. And then our summer virtual internships are, you'll see them here as well. They're 8 weeks in length as well, so May to July and June to August. So we do offer options of earning 3 to 6 credits through our virtual programs as well. So there's some still really unique experiences from that in the virtual perspective. API Connect is our virtual learning space, and I mentioned it a little bit, but just to give you a little bit of an idea what it is, you see a video playing in the right-hand corner, and that's Alessio, or Matteo, I'm sorry. He's going to teach us how to speak Italian without actually saying anything. But it's an example of some of the cultural content that you would see in our API Connect platform. So for students that are participating in a virtual program and want to take a break from their classes, but just kind of learn about some cultural aspect, whether it's a country that they're studying in and that there are classes from there or not, there's a lot of different access to recorded videos. We also host live events like trivia contests or museum tours or things of that nature. So there's a lot of great ways to really engage and still have a really cool cultural experience, even if you're not actually traveling to the different destinations that you're going to do. It's also where you'll complete the different tasks and submit the different materials to earn those digital badges as part of the virtual programs or as part of an on-site program as well. So it's going to have plays a very important role in all of our programs moving forward. So obviously for virtual students, it's a little bit more significant, but it's very important for all of our different programs. Really quick, the last bit I want to talk about is our virtual program. Our Global Select program allows students to choose from 1 to 6 different courses to add on and take a class virtually through any of our different international partners that are part of the Global Select program. So there's a lot of different courses that are available. So if you're looking to just add on an international course and have a unique different class that's added onto your in-person classes at Stout, this could be a great opportunity to do that. The next programs that we have are our labs. We have 2 different labs. We have the Innovation Lab and we have the Global Engagement Lab. The Innovation Lab is, they both work in roughly the same way, is that you work in teams of 4 to 6 peers over 12 weeks to identify problems, either business problems through the UN Global Goals. In the Innovation Lab, you develop a business-focused solution to a particular problem. So you work in teams to identify a goal that you want to work towards solving that's part of the UN Global Goals. And then you work with teams and we bring in different experts from around the world to come and help you, guide you in an international perspective to understand what that means. There's a lot of different activities that are part of it. There's different speakers and keynote addresses and things of that nature. And then you earn 3 different digital badges as part of it. The Community Engagement Lab is very similar to this, although instead of finding a business solution, what you're doing is coming up with a community action plan. So this actually just kicked off yesterday for the spring session of it, and we're really excited about it. It's made up of students from about 12 different countries that are all part of this virtual lab. So it's not a credit-bearing program, but it's an amazingly good resume boost for you, and it gives you a great opportunity to have a really cool international experience and work with people from all around the world. I mentioned our global internship, so don't want to talk about them again, but just to know that they are available again and that they're a great opportunity for you to have a virtual internship experience in this time in particular or moving forward as well. So I went through a lot really quick, but I wanted to make sure I got through all of my slides. So that's kind of a really quick overview of the different programs and services that API has. Certainly, I'd be happy to meet with you or have an advising session or answer any questions that anyone would have about any of the different things we just chatted about.
Thank you, Jason. API has a plethora of options that are fantastic. So thank you for the presentation. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the recording.